The story takes place at the end of World War II. Japan surrendered in 1945, like the whole world. This is the day after the defeat of a Japanese prisoner of war. The work of Japanese prisoner of war was mainly managed by the officers of German prisoners of war. The first step into the prison camp is the physical examination, which was carried out by female Soviet doctors. When the Hungarian prisoners of war received the Japanese prisoners, they seemed to return home triumphantly. After entering the camp, he made friends with a pilot. He trusted the honesty of the Japanese man, who sometimes let me keep his keys and valuables while he worked. Where's he now? There was a young soldier whose feet were frostbitten. He had two pairs of socks, so he was given a pair. Asked his age. He said he was only 14. He rubbed his feet and wept. He must be missing his mother. Soviet majors often talked to their captains because their output was too low. The captain gave the major a look of indifference on the ground that he did not understand Russian, so he was shut up in the hut of some time. The warehouse is full of heavy things and it's difficult to move them out or put them in, but the Japanese soldiers did a good job, which worried the Soviet women doctors. Life here is not free, forced to march in difficult conditions. I have to do a lot of manual work, such as carrying bricks. Here, Japanese potatoes for you. Girls in every country are very kind. The land of Ukraine is very fertile, rich in potatoes. Japanese soldiers don't use Soviet circles. Also, the sky was beautiful. They were caught in a snowstorm and had to walk in the dark those days. Visibility was only an arm's length, and many people were injured during those days. Once he fell off a cliff. He thought he was going to die. His friends helped him. For the first time he felt, is he going to die here? Japanese prisoners dig graves, dead German prisoners. No work is not allowed to eat. They plugged into the work of the quarry, walking with a stick. The daily output is 1 cubic meter. Continue to move the bricks. The weather is very cold. People continue to freeze to death here. Potatoes are often piled up in warehouses. People who were unable to do heavy work or who were sick were often assigned to work there. You can have some potatoes on the plane. It's a good job. Slaves are optimistic. Once someone starts singing, others join in and soon start singing. I think the Russians are the most talented race in the world. Even when the prisoners were singing, they would not say stop. Children in all countries are innocent and lovely. They skied to school and greeted the prisoners with "Good morning, Japan." If asked about the war, the children would reply, "Let's not fight. It's so cute." After World War II, men and women were busy rebuilding. Many Soviet women also worked in the most dangerous job. Unthinkable in Japan, some Soviet women even fell in love with Japanese soldiers. It was a beautiful moment. Once in a while, they steal something after a night patrol. The wood still light, bubbles in their paw caps. They poked open bags of rice with bamboo sticks or steal rice because they were hungry, but don't steal too much. The night shift is circular. Yields rose, but many people were injured or died in the rush to work. Take 1 or 2 bases a month. A music college guy spent the night writing music. In the morning, they gave music to a German band that played the Japanese music for them. Also, we don't know each other's language. We all know music. Music without borders. Note: Germany prisoners of war. A German band plays Japanese music, while Japanese soldiers awkwardly perform traditional dances. The Japanese prisoners of war already know when to return home. Everyone came to wrestle: Soviets, Poles, Germans, Italians, and Japanese. I worked hard and eventually realized that everyone was afraid of the little man. They are the best people in the world. Here all the time we'll find someone coveted your plates. Japanese plates are bigger than German ones. Germans eat bread and soup. Well, Japanese eat rice and bean paste. German soldiers caring for wounded Japanese soldiers. German prisoners of war will pretend to be Japanese prisoners of war rice. Hungarian prisoners of war cut corners. Japanese prisoners of war play with local Soviet children. In the toilet here, only open air, because no oven bathing and have to do a lot of labor, so the body lies. And clean up the mess. Baseball is one of the few activities. Shelter in makeshift tents when it rains. Also, he is prisoner of the war. He should be vaccinated regularly. Prisoners of war who don't know where they were sent. Prisoners of war in the stream. Meet the local woman after a hard day's work. It is not a nice thing to take a bath in winter. A group of people around a bread. For them, it is a big dinner. Learned to ride horse with Mongolian soldiers in the Soviet Union. Here, every day needs to see someone else's face. The Soviet Union. Female soldiers in charge of working prisoners of war. Japanese prisoners of war also need labor in urban reconstruction. Soviet soldiers called the prisoner of war. Japanese prisoners of war most admire the Soviet working woman. The Japanese prisoners of war had different opinions in their work. Japanese prisoners of war enter the custody and say goodbye to their Soviet guards. The war is over once and for all. The prisoners return to Japan.